Welcome back to my 100% playthrough of Heretic Faith Renewed on the Thou Art a Smite-Meister difficulty, played through the Heretic plus Hexen re-release on the Kex Engine. We are doing all levels with a 1-star and this is E1M6, Foundry. Let's begin by grabbing the wand crystals, and we're going to use them to snipe all these gargoyles and these golems as well. And all of our finagling may attract the attention of fire gargoyles, so we're going to fight them too. And if you take any damage, that's fine, because as you can see, there are a lot of crystal vials on this level. I feel like grabbing that little tidbit of ammo. And now I can grab the big tidbit, the crystal geode. Once again, your maneuvering might wake up more enemies, so just keep that in mind. But whenever you're ready to actually go through the level, we can open this up, use the pods to blow up the Draugr, and fight more enemies like these golems. And look, there are nitro golems as well. You can use the elven wand to get rid of them if you really want to. And I really want to, even though there's a crossbow right there. But, you know what, I love hit scan as well. I like to make use of it. Anyways, here's another nitro golem. We're just gonna snipe them through the window. And that's pretty much the worst of this lot. But now we have to go through here. And I still feel like wanding enemies. You can use a crossbow if you really want to at this point. It doesn't really matter. Either way, we're going through here, and we're going to activate this trap with a number of golems. I will be very eager to smash your face in, but you got the crossbow. You can take care of them. Anyways, we're also going up here at last to press both of these buttons, and the reason being is because one of them drops the Dragon Claw, whereas the other, on the opposite side, gives you quite a bit of ammo for it with an energy orb. And with that out of the way, we can properly proceed into this area with a Draugr, and another one, and another one. And then they ran out of Draugr, so we're good. There's a quiver here, which I'm going to save for later, but when you press that button, you'll open up an area with a number of were-dragons, some of which may get crushed by all these doohickeys, all these thingamabobs. This is a part of Foundry where they oversee the thingamabobs. But once you've gotten rid of all these enemies, you might take a little bit of damage if you get hit by any of those were-dragon attacks. It's fine. We're going to press this button, wake up this disciple of the sparrow, and go up the lift from whence she came to press this button, which will open up this door, revealing more disciples. And they'll be moving out and about, so let's get rid of them. And the golem as well. Speaking of enemies, here's another were-dragon overseeing this area. This specific crusher thingamabob. How do they work in such conditions? I know not. But either way, when you go into this place, you have to watch out for this big boy guarding this button, which opens up a place in this area. And when you go into that area, not only will you wake up the were-dragon, the other were-dragon I should say, because there's a total of 2 in that area, you'll also wake up these regular golems, all of whom are guarding this button, which opens up this area with a troll and some Draugr guarding yet another button, of which when you press it, you'll reveal a disciple of the sparrow guarding a hellstaff. And if you really want to, you can snipe these fellas with your elven wand or the Dragon Claw. Before we even go meet them face to face. And oops, I nearly crushed myself, and I think we can finally grab this, and we're good to go. Don't worry, they aren't particularly slow crushers, but they can sting you a bit. Anyways, I'm going through this area to get rid of the Draugr. Should be 2 of them in this place, and 2 golems as well. But with them all out of the way, you can check out this place. And here's something funny about this place. Remember that one area where in the previous level the undead warriors couldn't hit you? Well, the fire gargoyles can't hit you from here, but the golems can. And I believe the melee gargoyles can too. Which is pretty silly. Either way, we're clearing that area out for the future. And now we're going to take a little trip into this place. We'll fight some fire gargoyles. And 2 Draugr guarding the yellow key and the hell staff. And something else you can do to save you a lot of trouble. There's a chaos serpent over yonder, which we can get rid of using our trusty elven wand and a dragon claw. And if you really feel like getting rid of him, you can just snipe him. Now it can be a little tedious, but it's all worth it in the end, because this fella will give you a lot of trouble otherwise. So trust me when I say it's all worth it. Well, with the serpent out of the way, we are finally free to roam this area. We can get the yellow key. We can also drop down here real quick. I'm going to lower these lifts just so I have an excuse to get back up. And that was too late. Oh well. But while I'm here, I'm going to grab this hell staff too. And yeah, you can just wait here, because there's a little area that'll keep you safe from the worst of the lava in that part. Speaking of lava, let's go for a little swim down in here to get some extra health. Yeah, gotta spend health to get health. Story of my life. But we went here for a specific reason, so we can open up the yellow door. And it just has this button we can press in order to move forward. And likewise, these bars have opened as well, which leads back into this area. So if you cleared out this area like I did, you can just press this button and you should be good to go. And using that hell staff, we can get the drop on some of these disciples, but one of them will teleport hither to try to get the drop on you. But I was well aware of that. Anyways, let's get rid of this fire gargoyle in the distance. And the other one too. And with the silver shield, and also pressing the button, we can now move into this place, which has more fire gargoyles, but it also has some extra doohickeys that I want to grab. Take this spot for instance, which has a map scroll and a teleporter back, but also this area. See the little bulge from the wall? Yeah, use the wall itself and you get the secret with a bag of holding. Another bag of holding. Very generous. Very, very generous. Anyways. Should you go into this area, you'll wake up all the disciples of the Sparrow that were hiding in monster closets in this area. If you're lucky, one of them might drop a tome of power. But my principles tell me not to use it. Unless I'm doing a funny bit at the end of the video, which I probably will. We'll see. Anyways, let's press this button for realsies, which will lower another part of the central area. And now we can actually go to it. And look, there's a real tome of power, and it's guarded by a bunch of enemies. Disciples, golems, fire gargoyles. You know, the usual collection of nerds. But once you get rid of all of them, you can grab the tome, you can grab the runes, you can grab the ammo for the dragon claw. And when you press this button, usually what I like to do is stay in this spot and potentially snipe the disciples with the wand or the dragon claw. You can even stick with using the hell staff. But the reason why I stay here is because should you fire outside, you'll wake up these nitro golems and these fire gargoyles. Yeah, so stay under this roof, underneath the ceiling, you should be good. Otherwise, you'll have to fight these guys on top of the disciples and the gargoyles. It makes your life a little easier. But yeah, as you can see, the area with the Chaos Serpent also opened up, so that's why I got rid of him in advance. Ooh, piece of candy. Well, with everything out of the way, at last, we can drop down here. To drop down, albeit. Let's try that again. And let's go over here to grab the green key at last. Yay. Before we do anything else though, we're going to go back into this place because this raised up again. So make sure you grabbed everything before you actually dedicated to that. And this place opened up as well. And should you go into it, you'll meet a happy were-dragon guarding a Morphobum secret. Now isn't that lovely? Here's another quartz flask. These were both in the areas where the Disciples of the Sparrow would emerge from, but we got the drop on them with our trusty elven wand. But now we have the green key. We can go into this scary place. And the reason why it's so freaking scary is because, well, as you can see, you need a blue key in order to exit it. But while you're here, you can get some pretty good sniping action going on with certain enemies like this Chaos Serpent. And you can use the door as a shield for its attacks. Yes, you can open and close it if you really want to. I think we got him. If we didn't, then we're going in for reals. Because as you can see on this balcony are a few nitro golems. You can bully them with your trusty time bombs if you want to. Should be some remaining enemies around certain spots as well, including a troll. He holds a troll. Let's get rid of him. And his other troll buddy, too. There should be like a total of 3 of these guys, but let's bait this guy over. Yeah, these guys are pretty tanky, so... Time bombs! Even with that, they can still take a bit of damage. Although, the explosions were probably blocked off a bit, if not entirely. Oh well. Let's press this button, which will reveal this area with 2 Draugr guarding a Phoenix Rod. And also in this little spot, Quartz Flask and a Tome of Power will be waiting for you. But when you've settled all of that, you can press this button, which will reveal this barrage of enemies. And I'm going to use that Phoenix Rod on some of these guys. Yes, they are all scary, aren't they? But here's something funny about these guys. Yeah, you can still use the Shadow Spear on these fellas. All the other fellas will still be as difficult, if not more so. But that's fine, we can work with this. And we will, because we're going to grab everything here before we continue on, including this Quartz Flask and the Crystal Geode. But when you press this button, you want to get ready. And by get ready, I mean, usually I like to go over here to avoid the worst of the lot. And let's spam the Hell Staff in the general direction of these trolls and that Molitar over yonder. Because he sometimes comes down. And he'll fire the funny attack. And this is where the trolls learned how to charge from this big boy. But usually keeping him in this spot is a good way to avoid taking damage because the pillars of lava will usually protect you from that ranged attack that he likes to fire, but not from the ground one. Okay, maybe from the ground one, depending on where he fires it, but I wouldn't rely on it. Anyways, let's go through here and grab all the goodies in the lava. But I think we have enough crossbow ammo. But when you press this button, you want to get ready to fight more trolls. And a few gargoyles. And some Disciples of the Sprippy. In this area, you can get more ammunition for your Hell Staff and the other things. There'll be some Draugr as well waiting for you, so let's get rid of them. Finish off the Disciples. Finish off these guys for real. And finally, end our fight with these trolls. Excellent. Alright, in these holes, well, at least some of them, you can get some time bombs. And you can also get this button, which will open up yet another area with more Disciples guarding a teleporter. Now this teleporter will take you up hither, allow you to get the blue key, but also allow you to go through this dark area, which is why I'm going to use the torch. It gives me an excuse to do so. And then you can go through this place, finally, because we got the blue key out of that. And we can fight these Disciples like so. And if you're really feeling like it, you can use the Morphobum on these fellas, but I'm just going to blow them up. And as a result, I nearly blew myself up in the process, but you know how it is. Any player of Doom or Heretic is obliged to face rocket themselves at least once. But, here's why I'm going to save a Morphobum until right now. Well, of course, there's a Disciple that'll try to jump scare you. But chicken! Like so. And that's why I saved it. Really trivializes any battle with a Chaos Serpent. Even if you just use Morphobum to chickify one enemy, if it's the Chaos Serpent, then you're doing something right. Anyways, look at these pillars. One of them has orange skulls on it. Take that, and you'll be able to get the silver shield in the secret area. And as a result of you going into that area, you will have opened up this one, which leads here. And I don't know if you saw this earlier in this window, but this is a secret exit. But before we actually access it, we have a few enemies left to kill. So when you press this button, you can get ready to fight them. And I think it's time for another Tome Rampage, yeah. Let's take care of all these guys. Now you can even use the Tome of Power when you're going into this place to help you as well. You can use the Tome of Power in the green area, like the green door area. Could also be of use. But here's the regular exit. But we're too cool for that. We're so cool that we're going to drop some time bombs, and we're going to use a Mystic Urn even though we're like 90 something health. Not anymore. But yes, look. The secret exit. Let's celebrate by staffing ourselves into it. Alright, so that was Foundry. And yeah, nothing too difficult aside from maybe the green area, which has a ton of enemies in it. So the green door area is absolutely smothered in enemies such as Chaos Serpent, lots and lots of trolls. Probably the most trolls we've ever seen in a single spot, actually. And that is counting the previous level. And a Molitar. Yeah, Molitar. Rare Molitar appearance. Well, rare up until this point. But yes, we took the secret exit, because this is E1M6, and I suppose they didn't do anything too fancy with the map info to have it so that any other level would lead to the secret level. But since we arrived and finished everything, we are good to go for the next video. But yeah, you can exercise quite a bit of caution in this level, and it'll get you really far. It might even be too cheesy in some spots, like the area with the disciples and the golems, nitro golems to be specific, and the fire gargoyles, after you press all the buttons on both sides and then press the one button that opens up the area to the green key. It is really nice to get rid of that Chaos Serpent beforehand, and it is nice to also get rid of all the other enemies before you even fight the nitro golems and the gargoyles. But yeah, we are done with Foundry, so stay tuned for the next video where we go into the secret level of Faith Renewed. And this is the reason why I'm playing on Smite-Meister. Pocket plane. But until then, I'll see you when I see you, so see ya!